Hello, 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 hello. We are doing the topic ratios and rates, lesson number 2, and going to go straight into it. It's the same thing as lesson number 1. We're simplifying ratios, but there's going to be some little tricks. For the first lesson, all we had to do was find a common factor and divide, or we also had to put them in the same units. But now sometimes we're actually going to have to multiply. So you'll see why. Fractions, decimals, because we want to finish up with whole numbers, just like when we have a fraction. We don't want a fraction of 0.42 over 0.006. That's horrible. We want like 5 over 3, 9 over 7. So we want simple numbers, and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to get you started by just doing a few for you. We're just carrying on. Simplify the following ratios. Let's go with pink. We go divide it. Look for a common factor. 2 goes into all of them, so it's 1 to 2 to 3. This one, I'll just put a little note there, divide everything by 2. This one, 12 to 21 to 33. 3 goes into all of them. Divide 12 by 3, divide 21 by 3, divide 33 by 3. This one, big, so I might need to do it in more than one step. I'm going to divide by 2 firstly, because I know I can do that. Oh, I can divide by 6. But anyway, again, divide by 2 first. So 21 to 30 to 6. Hey, but we're not done yet. We can now divide by 3, 7 to 10 to 2. And at that point, we're done because 7, 10, 2, there's no number going into all of those. So have a go. D right now. And yeah, so I've just paused the video now, and I'll pause too, and I'll give you the answers. Oof, those are your answers. Man, those were hard. We start off this lesson with some hard ones. So I think we had here, I already did the first 3, so these are the ones I gave you now in orange. Those were, this first one we had to divide by 5. 85 divided by 5, 17. So calculator is useful, right? So finding the common factor and then using a calculator if the numbers get too big. This one here, I noticed a common factor of 12 straight away, but you could do it in multiple steps, like divide by 2, then divide by 2, then divide by 3, etc., etc. So there are our answers. That's not what I really want to work on today. I'm going to move on now to our next question. Write as a ratio in simplest terms. This, we got some tricky stuff here. So I'm going to do a bunch of these to help you out. So 4, they're both in centimeters, so it's 4 to 5.5. I don't like that 5.5. I don't like it. That shouldn't be there. So the trick is here, to get rid of that half, we're going to actually multiply by 2. 4 by 2 is 8. 5.5 by 2 is 11. And now we've got the whole numbers that we like. Next one, they're both in liters, so it's 3 to 1.5. I don't like decimals either. You could multiply by 10 to get rid of that, but easier, just times by 2. 6 to 3. And then you go, oh, wait, I can actually simplify that further. Divide by 3, 2 to 1. But the main thing is get rid of fractions, get rid of decimals. That's the big trick here. 5 eggs to 2 dozen eggs. A dozen is 12, so leave that one to you. Minutes to hours you can do, centimeters to meters. All right, remember, convert first into the same units. So 7 minutes and 1 hour is 60 minutes. Can't even simplify that anymore. Whereas E, 30 centimeters, 2 meters is 200. Can simplify it. Divide by 10. And that you can't simplify any further. All right. Are there any others that I need to do for you? That one, no. You're going to need some timesing here. Looking good. All righty. Have a go at those ones now, all the ones that I haven't done. And so pause the video now, and I'm going to pause too. All right, here are all your answers. I put them in blue there. 2 dozen, 2 lots of 12, 24. Other ones there. Yeah, just multiplying. I didn't have to multiply much there, just for the dollars and cents. The ones both in dollars. I just times by 10, and then $2.40 became 24. Or you could have gone to cents, I guess. Yeah, you could have done that. You could have gone 500 to 240. And then simplify that, and you take off the take off the zeros, divide by 10, 50 to 24, and then, yeah, divide by 2, 25 to 12. Yeah, you would have got the same way. So yeah, there are more than one way to do it. I've put the little notes on the side, so just like in just show what I did. But you don't need to write that if you don't want it, all right? That's just if I don't do that, I know a lot of people will be confused while you're learning this. So I'm just saying you what I did to get to the next line. So that's it. You pause now. You're going to have a look at the answers because I'm going to scroll down. Here I go. Okay, activity. Some of you might have gone on to this. We won't do it fully here. What we want to do is you go through and simplify everything that you can. A lot of these can't be simplified. Wow, there's really not many that... What? Oh, we got 2 to 1. Oh, we're in the middle here. 3 to 1, 2 to 1. So in the middle of this Triceratops, there's a bunch of things that can be simplified. So simplify everything that can be simplified, and then you use colors. So like if maybe you make that one red, you make this one green, blue, and yellow, and just see what comes out at the end. I guess if you're artistic, you can choose your colors in advance. Or like me, you could be like me and just guess and see what happens. So that's the activity, totally optional. I'm going to move on. So pause the video now if you want to leave it there. Down we go. Simplifying ratios with decimals and fractions. So this 1, 2, and then a little activity at the end. Actually pretty simple. But this page, tricky. So let's do this. Let's do it right. We're doing well. We've got lots of time for it. The trick is to multiply. We're going to multiply to get rid of the denominators. We don't like them. Now, there's easy way to do it and a harder way to do it. Harder way to do it actually gets you the answer more quickly. So it takes a bit more work. I'll show you both. So first one through. To get rid of a fraction denominator, I'm going to multiply. So if I multiply this by 3, 1/3 times 3, I'll be left with 1. And then half times 3 is 3 on 2. To get rid of that 2, I'll times by 2. And so it becomes 2 to 3. Because 1 times 2, 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 over 2 times 2, the 2's cancel out, you get a 3. Next one, same thing. I could multiply by 4, get rid of that first one, 1, 4 and 5, then times by 5, and we're going to get 5 to 4. One more time. This time it's got numerators on the top. So what we need here, we need to be able to multiply fractions. So just a reminder, if I have like 1 on 7 times by 7, that becomes 7 on 7, which equals 1. That's the trick we're using here. And if I had, say, 2 on 5 times by 3, 3 times 2, 6 on 5. So that's the way. It's those two numbers get multiplied. They go on top. Okay, so keep on going. This is actually the longer way to do things. Multiply by 5. That'll get rid of the 5 on the bottom. So you have 2, 3 to 5, 15 on 4. Now times by 4, and you get 8 to 15. Because 2 times 4 is 8, and when you multiply by 4, get rid of that. I'll do one last one, and then I'll do the same questions again, but a different way. So multiply by 7, 2 to 7 on 5, multiply by 5, 10 to 7. Now, sometimes you might need to simplify at the end as well, like if you end up with 10 to 8, you have to simplify it down to 5 to 4, but not for these ones. All right, you can pause here if you like. Actually, no, yeah, I am going to show you the other way of doing them. Thinking, so I'm just going to delete show the other way. Compare now. Do a different color, blue. Yeah, if I look at the 3 and the 2 on the bottom, I know I need a number that will get rid of both of them. And the number that will get rid of both of them is 6, because it is the lowest common multiple. Multiple that they both share of 6. So therefore I times by 6, and if I times by 6, you get 6 on 3 to 6 on 2. Well, that's too messy. I might even go to a pencil for once. Let's add a pencil, blue pencil here. Here we go, 6. There we go, on 3 to 6 on 2. 2 to 1. So it means we can do things. That doesn't look right. 6 on 3. 2 to 1. 2 to 3. Yeah, 6 divided by 2 is 3. I don't think so. So what I just did there, you just mentally check when something doesn't look right. So lowest common multiple, 4 and 5. Lowest common multiple is 20. So multiply by 20. 20 on 4. 20 on 5. That one's 5 to 4. Lowest common multiple, same again. Here we go. So 40 on 5. 3 times 20, 60 on 4. And then divide 8 to 15. And lowest common multiple here is 35. 70. 35 on 5. So that way's harder because you have to figure out what the lowest common multiple is, do the division, but it's also quicker. A quick note, lowest common multiple, you don't just multiply those two numbers together. That'll give you a multiple, but often not the lowest one. 8 and 4, the lowest common multiple there is actually 8. So times it by 8, and you'll get rid of that one there, 3. And this one will become 8 over 4, 3 to 2. So I know this is tough. I'm going to leave you just those 7 there to have a go at. I'm going to pause the video now. You should pause too. Have a go at them using either the first method or the second one, whichever way works for you. Maybe I should remind you what the first method was. It was multiply just by pick one of them. So in red, just pick one of them. Say multiply by the 5. 35 over 10. 5's cancel out. So you get rid of one of them. And then times by 10, get rid of the other. Then if you need to simplify, in this case you will need to simplify, divide by 5, you'll get 7 to 8. So that's the other way to do it. So have a go at those 6 there. Take your time. Oh, look at the 1.5. You're going to have to put that into I'll give you the first step for that one. 1.5, that becomes 3 over 2. So you're going to need that. You're going to be able to convert it from a mixed numeral to an improper fraction. That's for those ones. Fine, I'll do the first step for you. I don't want you to get tripped up on that. 3 lots of 3 is 9, so that's 10 on 3. That's 7 on 5. And last one, 13 on 3. 12, 15 on 4. Okay, those questions aren't done. Those questions aren't finished yet. You need to simplify them more. Simplify until they have just 2 numbers. No fractions. Okay, you should pause. I should pause. Whew. Here are those answers. So this requires good skills, your times tables, multiplying, dividing, good skills with fractions, really good practice if you've got those basic skills. But if you have not fully mastered the fractions and the times tables, that would have been horrible, right? So what you can do instead is use your calculator. So if you have a fraction, ratios, which you don't want to go through this process to do all this, fine. Just use your calculator. Right? So pause now if you want. Show people the answers. I'm going to scroll down. Show you one more thing today. One more thing. Here I go. Simplify the following ratios. Decimals time. I'm even going to scroll down more so you can't. No. That'll do. Simplify the following ratios. Decimals. So we use the multiplication trick. Multiply by either 10, 100, 1,000, whatever you have to do. Get rid of all the decimal points. So let's go blue, not green. Here we go. I've got 2 decimal places for this first one, so I'm going to multiply by 100. And it's going to be 1 times 100, 0.12 times by 100. The decimal point moves 2 places, and we're left with 12. So it's gone. Now, no more decimals. Now we just simplify. So divide by 2, 50 to 6. Divide by 2 again, 25 to 3. So first, get rid of the decimals, then normal process. This one here, what do I have to multiply by? This one's got 2 decimal places. This one's got 1. Look at the one that's got more decimal places. So it's got 2 decimal places. If I multiply by 100, then our problems will be solved. Because that will go here, boom, boom, and we'll get 55. And this one here, 2 decimal places, if we put on an extra 0 at the end, bang, bang, it's 660. Now, simplify, divide by 5, 11, 2. Is messy. 132. Check it. 500, yep. Oh, and you can divide that by 11 as well. Oh, 55. That I did things the hard way. Anyway, 1 to 12. Some of you are thinking, oh my God, these numbers, these timetables, multiplying, dividing. He's going too fast. Calculator. I still want you to just practice the basics here. This one, they both got 1 decimal place, multiply by 10. I want you to be able to do that, not rely on your calculator. You get 22 to 42. This one, the numbers aren't too scary. They're both even numbers, so I'm going to divide by 2. So I get 11 to 21. Nothing goes into both of those. So that's the trick. Multiplying to get rid of the decimal places. I'm looking through here. Cool. That's it. You should pause. I'll pause. Going to give you the answers. And here are your answers. Oof. Yikes. So calculator is your friend if you're not confident doing all that. So practice just putting them in your calculator instead and check that you get the same answers. So you put in your calculator. What exactly I mean by that is, so for example, you can't do it with the ones with 3, unfortunately, but like this one you can. Calculator. Move myself out of the way so you can see that. Bye-bye. The calculator method. What you're going to do instead is just put 0.7 over 0.05 and you'll get 14. So that means the answer is 14 to 1. Same with this one, the calculator method here. You do 12 over 2.4, you get 5. So the answer for the ratio is 5 to 1. Oh, me again. Run away. 5 to 1. I'm going to just put myself right in the middle here. Little questions. Don't mind me. Now, you're not always going to get a nice answer like this one, like this. You put 6.4 over 80 in your calculator, and you'll get 2 over 25. So the answer is 2 to 25. So why didn't we just do that from the start? Because it's good to be able to use our own heads, not always rely on technology. All right, stop now. That's our lesson, simplifying. We start off with now this whole lesson, lots of hard stuff. Lesson 1 was easier, right? Don't worry, the rest of the topic's not that hard. All right. Good job.